Hello, YouTube. There are many legends, tales, and amazing finds associated with the Caucasus, which the most venerable archaeologists and historians are puzzling over. So let's start with the Noah's Ark. This is probably the oldest mystery of the Caucasus because according to the Bible, Noah landed on Mount Ararat when the flood waters began to subside. And it turns out that all people are descended from the first inhabitants of Ararat. Many archaeologists dreamed of exploring the mountain, but the Turkish authorities forbid exploring the slope on which the ancient ship, and they forbid it since 1974. According to the testimony of the Armenian by the name of Georgi Hagopian, the ark made of sturdy gopher wood is still located on the mountain. Allegedly, in 1905, Georgi, as an 8-year-old child, found the ark with his grandfather and even visited it. In 1939, the American magazine New Eden published the memoirs of Russian pilot Vladimir Raskovitsky, who saw the ark from an aircraft in 1916. The fact of the discovery of the Russian military pilot was not a fiction. But I think the owners of the magazine or the editors, they fluffed up a few things. That's what people who are familiar with this story stated. A few years later, American researcher Cummings managed to find the testimony of new witnesses about the 1916 expedition, as he wrote in his book Noah's Ark and the Dead Sea Scrolls. Moreover, there were claims that the Russian Tsar even sent an expedition to Ararat, which visited the Ark, but all its results and photographs were perished in the flames of the Russian Revolution. The Chinese were last, reportedly, to see Noah's Ark. They allegedly climbed the mountain in 2009, found the Ark in the ice, visited it, and even took samples that show that the wood was 4,800 years old. Well, some scientists consider Chinese videos and photographs to be fake, but even that's the case, the Ark should still be somewhere out there on top of the forbidden Ararat, and the local Kurdish people should know much more about it than anybody else. But one day I will do a video on the information I have from the Russian sources. Let's move on to Colchis. In the west of the Caucasian mountains, on the territory of Abkhazia, Georgia, and Turkey, there was a beautiful kingdom of Colchis, inhabited by the Kolkhoi. In these parts was the legendary Polis, ancient city of Dioscurias, and there was a huge city of barbarians in which the mythical Medea was born. It was there that the leader of the Argonauts, Jason, came to get the golden fleece. It is the Greek myths that chained the Titan Prometheus to the great Kazbek in the mountains of Scythia, and it is his blood that oozes onto the rocks of the Caucasus. An Abkhazian legend tells this. At the very top of Elbrus, a terrible abyss is open from which groans can be heard. A giant is chained there. The giant's beard is down to his feet. His whole body is covered with gray hair, and there is a heavy chain on his arms and legs. Let's move on to the Great Wall of Abkhazia. There is an imposing Kelasura wall in the Caucasus. Its length is 160 kilometers. The wall is ancient, partly in ruins, but it can still be seen on the territory of Abkhazia. There are about 300 towers, up to 12 meters high on the wall. It is unclear who or what the people who built the wall were defending themselves from. Some believe that the wall was built in the 17th century by Prince Levan II Dadiani of Megrelia to protect it from the Abkhazians. Others believe that the Greeks built it in ancient times to protect themselves from local people, while still others believe that the Byzantines built the wall to protect from the Mingrelians, Georgians. Now let's go to the dolmens. The Caucasian dolmens are probably the most mystical mystery of the Caucasus Mountains. No other artifacts cause such a flurry of hypotheses as these megaliths. Officially, these are tombs. For example, a dolmen was found near the village of Shepsi, which contained a round ball and the remains of a man buried 1,000 years before the pharaoh Khufu lived. Dolmens are usually dated to the 3rd or 2nd century before Common Era. They can be found in the mountainous regions of the Krasnodar territory in Russia, in Adygea, near Ochamchira in Abkhazia, and in the valley of the Laba River. More than 3,000 dolmens have been found, but no more than 6% of the structures have been studied. It is believed that the dolmen culture came from the territory of ancient Spain and even North Africa. Dolmens in the Caucasus are different. Some are made of huge stone slabs, others are hollowed out of the rock. Some even have their own names, Han, Tenderness, or Tor. Look at my videos about the dolmens. I have a few of Russia, of the Caucasus, and so forth, and I think you will be amazed by the discoveries and the hypotheses about them. Now let's go on to the mystery of El-Tyube, the city of the dead. That's the name of the cemetery near the village of El-Tyube in the Chagam Gorge of Kabardino-Balkaria. It is also called the nest of eternal youth. Above ground crypts look like small houses. It is generally believed that they began to be built around the 13th century. Well, there are many legends connected to the cemetery. One says that during the excavations, the remains of 2 giants guarding the valley were found there. Well, the men were just over 2 meters tall, which was rare in ancient times. The question remains, who were they guarding? Legends say that the village itself is famous for its residents who live very long lives, and this is allegedly due to the fact that it stands on top of a huge hidden pyramid. And then we have the Svaneti towers. That's another mystery of Caucasus, and that's the towers of Svaneti in Georgia. Towers can be seen in many villages. One thing is unclear: what role did they perform? It is known that they were built from the 8th to the 13th century, and then they stopped building them. Those towers have 3 floors. The first is monolithic, the second has an entrance, which is reached by a wooden staircase. The walls are vertical and the roof is decorated with battlements. Each tower has only one narrow window and it faces south. There are no fireplaces or stoves. Their purpose is still unclear. It is difficult to defend oneself in them. They do not protect against the avalanches. The current population often uses them as storage facilities. Such are some of the Caucasus mysteries. The times I spent there in my youth impressed me to no limit. You can find strange things there, left in the mists of time, from the days of the Roman Empire, but also from much earlier days. Well, I long to come back one day, explore Georgia more, and visit other countries there. You can find more videos on this subject in my channel, including about history of the Russian conquest of the area and people who are fighting against them. Caucasus is full of ancient mysteries, secrets, and tremendous beauty, and I will bring more of such videos to you, including about the turbulent history of the mountains, even about the last century wars in Chechnya and the UFOs that were sighted over the battlefields, and of course the UFOs that go back centuries that were sighted over ancient Armenia and Georgia. So if you like my research, please support me to the links you will find in the description to this video. Please sign up to my channel and hit notification button. Thank you.